Now, when we are talking about Unit 4 physics, that is IAL physics, we are going to start looking at collisions. I want to take you through what you are going to study in Unit 4 physics of IAL. Now, we are going to look at collision in 2 dimensions, and you are going to be given different objects which are going to collide. Which means that you need to understand about the law of conservation of momentum. That's one of the areas that you really need to understand, the law of conservation of momentum. Once you have understood the law of conservation of momentum, you need also to remember about impulse. Before we continue, if you are new to Proflearn YouTube channel, consider subscribing so that anytime I'm going to do more tutorials, you'll be notified. And if you are new and you have not joined our Patreon page, consider joining the Patreon page so that when I'll be uploading this kind of PDF into our Patreon page, you'll be able in the position to download them. Now, focusing back into this, I'm just giving you an overview what you expect. You need to understand impulse, and also you need to understand the law of conservation energy. You need to understand types of collision, that is elastic and inelastic, how you can be able to deduce a collision is elastic or not elastic. And whenever you're going to deal with those collision in 2 dimensions, you have to resolve the vectors into horizontal and vertical components so that you can be able to work out questions like that. You'll be given questions that are related to collisions, and also you must understand how to resolve a motion. For instance, you see here we're given an object which is projected 15 degrees at an angle of 45. It's going to collide with another rocket which is moving at 8 meters horizontal. So we are going to work out momentum in that case, and we know that momentum is equals to mass times velocity. So we are going to resolve this component into horizontal component so that you are going to multiply with the rocket that was moving horizontally so that you can be able to get momentum in the horizontal direction. So basically that's what you'll focus on, resolving into parallel direction and also perpendicular direction. After you've done that, another concept that you shall look at is the concept of circular motion. And in this case, all the angles in circular motion will be measured, all shall be measured in radians. And you need to understand that 1 radian is the angle subtended in the center of a circle. Yeah, when the arc length is equivalent to the radius. Yeah, so we can say theta is equal to arc length over the radius. So we can be able to say that angle in radians given by S over R in that case. So angle in radians is in a complete circle is usually 2 pi. Angle in radians in a complete circle is 2 pi. So we can be able to say 2 pi radians is equals to 360 degrees, which is a concept you shall be using when you will be converting radians to degrees. You can say 1 radian is equal to 57.3 degrees. You will be expected to work out angular displacement, and we're going to say is a vector measurement of an angle through which something has moved. So angular velocity is going to be given by the formula omega is equals to the angular displacement over time t. And with that, we can also say that angular velocity is given to pi f, or angular velocity is given by 2 pi over the time period, of which we're gonna look at. We shall focus on that later and get to see what is expected. Instantaneous velocity is the velocity an object can move at if it stop moving in a circular path. So meaning that in the event an object is moving in circular motion and it snap from that particular force that is making the object to move in such a way that that is maintaining to move in a circular path, then that object will move tangentially to the circular path, so it will follow a straight direction. So we can be able to say linear velocity is equals to radius times the angular velocity in that case. So on that we shall have greater details into that. You shall learn about centripetal acceleration. Yeah, you shall also work out, you shall learn about centripetal force, which is given by F is equals to mass times the velocity over the radius, and centripetal force is given by mass times the radius times the angular velocity squared. So those formulas should be just fresh in your mind. You are going to work also question to do circular motion in vertical circular path. You'll be having questions to do with that. You will also look at examples and sources of centripetal force, maybe when a car is negotiating around a corner. Sport cars are moving around a banked track. You are going to experience there will be circular, there is a force which will be directed towards the center of the circular path. So basically that is what you learn in circular motion. And also you shall learn about a conical pendulum is another area that will be of interest in A-level unit 4. You learn also about electric fields. You need to know how to calculate the force experienced, electric potential. Yeah, so you can see these are the kind of notes maybe your teacher will provide. If you don't have those notes, you can be able to access them in Proflan Patreon page. You can be able to download them so that you can be able to go through all these areas. You learn about the patterns of electric fields, and also properties of electric fields is an area also of focus in this particular unit. After that we shall talk about capacitors, and we shall talk about parallel plate capacitors as another area of interest. Practical skills of charging capacitors, electric charge stored in capacitors, parallel plate capacitors, I've mentioned that. And here, what is it? Yeah, so we shall talk about what does the area of voltage against charge represent. So an area of great interest, charging and discharging capacitors, resistor capacitor circuit, RC circuits, we shall discuss that. Exponential charging, yeah. So far basically that's what we shall talk about, and we shall be having series of these particular videos, and I believe you're gonna enjoy. And if you're new to Proflan YouTube channel, consider subscribing so that anytime I'm going to do more tutorials on this, you'll be notified. See you in the next video.